Good morning, my SMF MMTs, making a market and having lots of fun at making a market as a market maker versus whatever else there is out there, which is the public. And that's what we do. We make markets between the public, and we know every trick in the book, and it's true. And we know how price action momentum is going to build off of Netflix here, where up here at that delta line, it triggered us short, and we bought the puts all the way down. When this reversal came into here, that's when it was time to start thinking about getting out, because once these knife hook moves start to work and you start to consolidate, it's going to take the put premium that you bought up here, it's going to stop giving you more yield on your entry, meaning your debits are going to stop counting for you, and they're going to start taking your positive debits away from you. And at that very point, with the intraday move from here to the failure, and they could not take out this teeny line, just like I was telling the MMTs here, and it was a second bottom down, just as it was here and just as it was here. Look at it all the time. You really couldn't, if you close negative above a delta line, well, this is generally what happens. But now that we have bought the reversal off the bottom, and that would be buying the call option.
25.
All right.
And now it was 25 a lot, and now it's trying to hold above 35 and not big pop.
That's right.
So,
but you're doing nice, and as long as this, and this is SMF MMT Tina trading a 220 call. It's a 325 2011. It's a 320 call that was in the money. 1305 was the high, and she's getting orders down here. Her entry level was $8 on this side of the market. This side of the market is a 240 put, right, Tina? A 325 2011 call. And that call, the put made a low of $8 on the opening bell. When that reversed, that was the low, and then they ran that all the way up to 1325 to the highs. That's where the high was. That's where the low was. So buying the low over here and then coming over here and buying the lower end here as a spread at $8 and taking $1 out of here. So I take a couple dollars on this side of the market and I start scaling out there. If we roll up Beethoven 35 and start to drop, well, then I would have to start executing if that would be the case as far as the chart goes now. And if I can't get north of 35, I will not go above that delta line. And that I can promise. The other thing I would be looking at is the current half bars, because you don't want to get caught and slide the bid and give up your profit. That half bar is 228.49. You're 228.32 by 4.5. As long as you're in your market maker platform, you've got to get a closing bar above the 228.49 in that respect, in that level. The other thing is that you need to get elevated back toward 35. That current trend ratio needs to go to 0 and start positive to 36 for this to even go higher here. And how do you get price stability is your 228, 73, and 74. It's 24 cents wide. You want to see this side of the market printing. If this side of the market prints, this goes higher, this contracts, goes into positive territory. You did not close below half of the bar. You have not. You tested it with a wick. So what? You're at 35. You must go above 35 here and now to go above that delta line here and now, and to also make that call option continue to go higher in value. This is going to happen. You've got 905 by 930. You got a 20-cent spread. As a market maker, as an SMF market maker, you can always cut here at 920 to sell and see if someone pays you. Because of your wholesale entry at $8 entry, you can cross this person out on the execution as a market maker now, an MMT that you are, you just say, okay, here, I throw it at 15 cents and get this side of the market to try to execute you. You see, you're in control of your profit. And the thing about it is they don't go higher if I don't break out above 35. That would be part of the execution model. Doesn't mean you have to sell right here, but I'm just telling you how you would execute as a live market maker at SMF. Buying wholesale here, buying wholesale here, then based on the put value did not want to, it made its high. The puts made their high, and now they're coming back here at 1140 by 1170 based on that price action momentum. My MMT option market makers, the beloved people you are, and making a market with the public at the wholesale bids is the perfect recipe for success. And that's what your school's about. And it's about making that market because you get positive SMF debit yield on your entry and your exits. And using your brain and understanding when, if the put, when this went down, the put options were putting in their high. When it stopped going down, they put in their high. Okay? The low was $8. The high is 13 and a quarter. That's your spread. They close at 11.75 on that side of the market. This side of the market right here is 7.85 to 13.05. That's yield, or yield taken out of the trade, and you buy in that lower yield. That's called wholesale market maker, wholesale yield to the entry. And it makes you the market maker because you're in control of the bid and ask. You can do whatever you want. And by understanding this right here and understanding how this is going to work with this instrument here, that instrument there, and you're breaking to two, and you're above 35, 41. And I said, right there.
Excellent.
Bingo! Mm-hmm. There we go. And we're letting it run. It's got to, but it's got to, see, it's trying to take out that delta line. Once it does, then these go higher in value. And we are live right here with Tina. Now, Tina, do you understand what I'm saying? Yes or no?
Yeah, maybe if it goes above the teeny line, I might
You got to go above 45 now to close above it.
That's
this
right.
Number.
Yes.
So let's keep that straight. It will be weak at 35. It went up and tested it because it got above it now. You must stay here for a period of time at 35, and you would like to see this spiking to 45 now to get through that delta line, Tina, which would take that higher. If that doesn't occur, well, you can always say, guess what? If I got 5 contracts, I can put 3 out to sell. I can put 940, see if 930 buys me. I got 2 contracts left to work with that, meaning that I can let, if it doesn't want to run higher, I can always let that side of that. But we know right here, we got to go north of 45. See how we got to 0, 0? It's on the video earlier that we had to get to 0, 0 and go positive now for these to pay more money. But we're not. So we're 0.01 negative. So that's going to be your price action line at 920 by 925. Here I am putting now, if this move fails, and then I'm going to be looking at how do I make a market over here? How do I make a market in that 240 put? I got 1125 by 60. Okay. Now, with this part of the trend is going to equal the bid and ask here and the bid and ask here on both instruments. My SMF, MMT, option market makers that you are. You're the best. Why? Because you get wholesale. And when you get wholesale, you can control the public because that's what we do. And we have to have a very precise system that tells us how to get the wholesale market on one side and how do we get the wholesale market on the other side. Oh, and then you get to be selling it back to the public. That's the special thing. So she's going to go through with her readings right here, and the ratio's not going her way.
Yeah,
it had to go ascending to 36 to make a big move there, and it didn't. And that's why this side of the market is going up in value in the bid and ask, and this side of the market is contracting in bid and ask. But if I wanted out of half of my contracts, or say I could unload, I could throw out here 920. and I could sell 3, and then I could say, okay, I took some profits. Then I could let the other 2, I could give it a little bit of more room. As it does try to consolidate that 35, and if it does want to come back and rip to 36, I'm still in control. I don't have to sell it all, but I could just sell a little bit. Once I get in 0 plus 1 range, going north to 36, I still would have 2 contracts, and I would still have a little bit more yield on my entry and exit. This is a special MMT video with new MMT, Tina, with bid and ask wholesale and trading both sides of the market based at delta resistance, based there. This is at a crucial point. Of course, you lose value here when this ticks against you. This bid comes down. That's how accurate we are as market makers in every market, meaning that we cross every market. And we're experts at wholesale and then selling out retail and then how to work the execution system. And same thing over here. Great trade, Tina. Does the rest of the group have any questions about it? If anyone does, you can ask. And we'll come back and revisit this throughout the trading day and see where other markets are made.
Excuse me, Mario.
Yes, sir. You're on live video? Is it related to this trade?
No, sorry.
Then
Thought it was over.
I'm not. Okay. So this is what it is, making a market in the options as a market maker, SMF MMT.